I'm Sabrina from GetYourRockOut, and I'm with the Raven Age. How you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, really good.
So how do you think your gig went earlier?
It was good, yeah, it was really good. It was good, yeah. I mean, I haven't been too well, and it's always horrible when someone says, I'm not well, because it's like a massive cop-out, but genuinely I haven't been well, and I did what I could today, and I'm quite happy with it. A couple of little croaks here and there, but the rest of the band all done their usual stuff. We always laugh when Jai does his sound checks, because they say go around the full kit, and he just plays ridiculous. He's a very, very good drummer. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah. So, how'd you guys all find each other for the band?
Yeah, well, myself and Dan, the other guitar player, who's actually just over there, we're both from the same town. We live in Harlow in Essex. Me and him got together and started sort of, writing songs together quite a while ago now, about 4 or 5 years ago or something. We just sort of doing it for fun, and then we decided to take it to the next level. Started searching for guys, and we found these other guys online basically, one by one. First we got Matt, our bass player, in around about 2012. Was that right? 2012?
I think so.
Yeah. Then we found Mike from he's not exactly close. He lives in Hastings.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a trek for him to come up rehearsals every week, but he does it. So, and then we found Jai last. He lives in West London. So we say we're from London. We're all sort of all over the place, but that's our general sort of hometown.
Do you find distance to be a problem?
It hasn't been so far, really. It probably does for Mike more than anyone.
We usually rehearse on Wednesdays, and I go out and do a full day's work, and then have to drive like 2 hours to go up to George's and rehearse. We rehearse for like 2 hours, and then I drive back again, so I'm getting home at like midnight, 1 o'clock. It's a bit of a grind. Sometimes it feels a little bit unnecessary, especially if we've been playing a lot of shows. But on the plus side, when you are playing a lot of shows, we normally don't rehearse anyway, because we're continuously playing shows, so we're already well rehearsed.
Yeah, and it does pay off for the amount of rehearse as well. I think we've got to a stage we're pretty comfortable, we're pretty tight with each other. I
mean, our set list hasn't changed for quite a while, because obviously we're in the process. Our album's being mixed up and finalised at the moment, so the set list is pretty similar every time. There's the inclusion or like the exclusion of a couple of tracks, depending on whether we've got a 45 or a 30-minute set. Sometimes even a 25, which is we don't like those so much, but 45 is a really good amount of time, because people just about start getting into it. But because that set list has remained the same, that's what we practice, that's what we do every rehearsal. So we've got 2 hours to practice a 45-minute set, so we usually manage to get 2 of them in there, at least. So we have practiced a few of the newer tracks that are on the album a couple of times.
Yeah.
We did sort of accidentally get forced into doing an encore once at the Hamwell Hootie,
that was a bit strange.
It's the only time we've ever played that track live. That was funny.
Yeah.
We'd rehearsed it like twice, I think, by that point. Just crazy.
So, how's the new album going?
It's going well. I mean, we've had a couple of mixes back so far, and it's sounding really great. We're sort of looking at around. We think maybe start of next year for it to be released. We would have liked to get it out before these tours we've got coming up, really, but considering we had a lot going on. We've just been playing in Europe with Mastodon and Gojira, and that's obviously that's sort of taken over. So we have to put the album back a little bit. And
so what's it like playing with those guys?
Yeah,
great, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, just out of this world. Guys are really nice. I mean, we actually had, I think it was 4 overall. It was 5 shows with Gojira, because we're still playing one with them on, I think it's the 24th of August in Holland.
Yeah.
But we actually had 2 booked in. One was in Switzerland and the other one was in Luxembourg. But unfortunately, Joe and Mario had a massive family emergency, and all credit to them, and they dealt with it, and they got straight back out. They cancelled, I think, only 3 shows, and then they just went straight back out. So I mean, that was before I'd even met the guys. That was admirable as hell that you've just managed to pull yourself together and just do it,
On the road,
So we were really impressed with them, and they weren't hiding away. They said hello. We went in the dressing room them after the shows and stuff. And Lisbon was pretty much the show of our lives. We just come off and we were buzzing, and the crowd started chanting our names and stuff, which was just fantastic.
Pretty cool, I think.
Exactly. There was, I mean, in Madrid there was a circle pit, which was quite funny. To be fair, this is a bit weird for a metal fan, but I'm not a massive lover of circle pits because I've had too many black eyes and things. And when people are swinging around like that, they don't tend to actually be listening to what you're doing. But I mean, it was going. There was about 5 or 6 geezers swinging around for a little while, and then they sort of stopped. So, but it was nice to see. I mean, if people are enjoying it that much,
isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Would you say that's one of the best moments you've had on that tour?
When they started chanting the names, and especially when you're looking halfway through the sea of people and you can see someone singing every word back at you, and you're a support band that
in Portugal
you think no one has heard of, and they, you know, a lot of people are pretty good. They do their homework. They go, oh, well, who's on support? But I mean, I think in these particular circumstances, it was announced so late that people probably couldn't have even worked out who the support was. So the fact there were actually people there singing the lyrics back was just absolutely incredible. You know, it's really good vibe. And we always try and say hello to everybody afterwards where possible. It was a bit difficult to download because we went off afterwards and done loads of this sort of stuff. It was a bit upsetting for me because I had a lot of people that had come from Hastings to watch, and they're all sort of
and you want to see her.
They're all asking to see me, and we just get carted off in a van to the press area. So
you sort of like banging on the windows, like, I can't get out.
Yeah, I had a very strange experience actually when I left. We walked out the dressing room in Lisbon, and there was a security guard outside, and he said, oh, do you need to get to your merch desk? And I was like, yeah, because that's usually what I do. The rest of the guys pack down and I'll go and sit at the merch desk and see, you know, sell a few t-shirts, EPs, whatever. And he actually escorted me through the crowd, and it was really weird because there were people who were like trying to shake my hand and stuff, and it was just like this huge geezer was just like, yeah, cheers mate. I'm joking.
And they were playing, so
So would you say there's the funniest moment when you're on that tour?
The funniest moment, probably Jai screaming out "So Far Away" by Avenged Sevenfold on top of his lungs in the dressing room. We had like in Lisbon, it was in an arena, well, it was like a big arena, you know, type sort of gig, and just behind that is where we played. It's like a great big hall. They set up a stage in there. But anyway, so we had like great big dressing rooms, a bit like a sort of football stadium type thing. So the whole hall just echoed everywhere.
It was the best backstage we ever had. Basically, they actually put a plaque out, food and beer and stuff.
It was sort of, you know, you got treated like kings. It was unbelievable.
With all the buzzing, like George said. I mean, "So Far Away" by Avenged. We're all, I think all of us in the band are quite big Avenged fans, and I mean Dan especially, the other guitarist, but Jai singing away, and he just does
hard part to sing. And I said I'm going to walk out and make sure I can't hear it down by Gojira's dressing room, and I thought, I'm going to go a bit further just to make sure. So I went behind the stage and I hear him screaming at the top of his lungs, and I was just like, I went back, I was like, just cut it out, mate. It's so loud.
They're actually sitting on another table looking at us now and making rude hand gestures at us. So. Because I know what we're talking about, but yeah, he's obviously a drummer, and he's no Phil Collins, you know, he doesn't sing as well, so to hear him going is just very funny. And I actually made him do it before we went on stage, because I said, if you do this before we go on stage, we're going to have a good show, because we just enjoy, and sometimes in the van he just busts it out, and it's hilarious, basically. We'll try and get him to do it before we leave. Probably won't.
You'll probably hear it.
Have you guys ever had any like moments in the car if like a song comes on the radio? Is there just one song we should just all sing?
Well, there's lots.
Any embarrassing ones?
First time we didn't even have a radio, didn't have music. Luckily Mike brought a speaker with him this time, so we're actually able to listen to some tunes.
Yeah, well, in terms of embarrassing ones, we have some weird, wonderful moments where occasionally I'm pretty sure I've heard Dan and probably me joining in, and a few others singing Backstreet Boys and things like that. And the worst thing is I look like I'm in a boy band at the moment, but it's Al. But yeah, we probably shouldn't mention that too much, but someone should do metal covers of the Backstreet Boys. It'd probably be pretty cool, in my opinion.
You guys can start us.
No, that's not.
Just no. I had a centre part until I was 17, and people used to call me Aaron Carter, which really used to get on my nerves. Before I discovered what real music was. I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but metal is the way forward in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely going forward.
That's the plan.
So you've got more gigs coming up?
Yeah,
More
we're
gigs?
going to go for a rest for about 9 days, and then
Long rest?
Yeah, I think we've got 29th of July is our first date. It was actually at our mine and Dan's hometown, the Square in Harlow, which would be a pretty good one. Just like a smaller venue on the tour. But yeah, we're going to be touring extensively until the end of August, and then we have a September off, and then we're going back around. This is all UK as well, by the way. And then we're going back around the UK with Scarlet Riot in October, all the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with Scarlet Riot. So we're looking forward to that as well.
I mean, there is an exception to the UK tour we're doing from the 29th of July to the 26th of August. The fact that I think in total there's something like 23 shows that British Lion are playing, and we're playing 20 of them. But the only reason we're missing the 3 is because we're doing one more show with Gojira and 2 more shows in Germany with Mastodon. So, you know, I mean,
not a bad thing, yeah.
It's not a bad thing to miss those shows, you know. I mean, British Lion were very sort of accommodating in saying, you know, jump in between, because that's a great opportunity to be with, you know, different bands that are big, and so that's going to be fun, especially hitting Germany because we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got two gigs, consecutive nights in Germany.
It'll be a big old trek, playing in Cologne and then Berlin and then back to London. Is that the last one after that? Yeah, but anyway, it's going to be a lot of mileage over a couple of days.
So I think one of the biggest ones is when we go on the 24th to Holland with Gojira, and then the 26th is I mean, that show to me feels like it's going to be one of the most important, because it's at the O2 Academy, but it's the bigger one downstairs.
Yeah, we've not played there yet.
And it's like that's going to be the final actual tour gig. So after that, it's going to be like, yes, we've done it. It's my birthday at the end of August, so I'm just going to be like, this is great. You've got September to recover from whatever the hell happens after that. Yeah.
So is there anywhere that you'd actually like to play a gig which you haven't yet? Like anywhere in Europe or anywhere else?
Definitely Scandinavian regions. We need to get on that, because obviously there's a lot of really cool metal bands that come from Sweden, Finland, Norway. So getting in them areas.
They've got a pretty big metal scene in general, haven't they, up there? Like, they all seem to be into it up there. So I think it'd be a great place for us to hit. And you know, we've been played on the Swedish radio like a few times and stuff, and they, you know, it's been told that it went down quite well and stuff. So I think, you know, it'd be really cool if we could get to go up there.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard your own song on radio yet?
Yes.
What does it feel like?
It's pretty
cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's a nice vibe. I mean, we had XFM, didn't we? They played us. But I've also got a friend back at home who his name's Dominic Press, and he works for. He's now a DJ for an online thing called ARFM, but previously, he still does it once a month in Hastings. There is a radio show called Hastings Rock that plays every day for a month. He's actually my ex-girlfriend's dad, so we've maintained a friendship. He's a really big fan of the band, and I mean, he sells our merch in his barber shop that he's got, and he's just been really fantastic, because he's played our stuff to just, you know, very locally, but also the online stuff, and there's quite a big following for his ARFM thing, and it's picking up. So
nice,
he's doing that for us. It's going to be nice when we got the album and a bit more to actually play, other than the same like 3 tracks that people have gotten in on. The EP's got 4 tracks on it, and one of them's pretty much an intro that you just wouldn't play it on its own. So you've got 3 to choose from, and you know, that's that really. I mean, we've had some exciting stuff with, I think it was Metal Hammer as well, right?
No, we've had we've been in touch with Metal Hammer. They said they're like interested. We haven't actually done anything with them yet, but you know, hopefully.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Kerrang. We had, you know, been in touch with Kerrang, but we're just hoping at the moment.
Just waiting to see what happens.
Cool. So is there anything else you guys would like to add?
It's on tour. We're touring around the UK twice. We're playing right up from Scotland right down to the south. We'll be back out in Europe again, in Germany and Holland. So if we're have a little look online, if we're at a town near you, come and check us out.
Yeah, and generally, if you see us or you've seen us before, come and say hello. Don't be shy. You know, we like talking to everyone. So just come and do it.
So where's best to check you guys out?
Probably. Well, you can go to our website. You know, it has links with just theravenage.com. We have links to everything. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. Everything like that. You can buy our EPs and anywhere. You know, we have like a merch shop online as well. You can get T-shirts, CDs. So
Yeah.
anyway, like we're pretty easy to find online. So
We are easy to find online. I think if you type in the Raven Age, there's a lot of stuff there straight away. Using Google, the only search engine. Secretly, no, I just don't like Bing, said everybody ever.
You know, I agree with you there.
Yeah, when someone hijacks your web browser and it goes to Bing and you're like... Yeah.
cool.
Other than that, not much.
Yeah, no, I think that's about
I don't like George very much. No, I'm joking. We all get on really well. So we just, like I say, we've been sat here and the rest of the band are making fun of us at the moment. Like they keep turning around and smiling and making stupid faces because they're only on the radio. They're not actually being videoed. So that's about it.
Yeah, cool.
Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been great.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Cheers.